that's your...
A couple times today.
All right, well, we'll get rolling. Welcome, Earthlings, to the latest episode of the Wreak Havoc Film Boast podcast. I'm your host, Dan Sellers, along with my spooky co-host, Mr.
Sammie Castle.
We are here today to talk about the 7th annual Wreak Havoc Horror Film Festival. And we've got two of our awesome judges here with us. I'll let you introduce yourself, guys.
Jeff Cochran.
I'm Jacob Allen.
Both friends of the show.
Are you sure?
No.
You kind of delayed on that. Are you not Jacob?
It's a small recorder. I don't know. Do I need to project my voice more?
He gets confused with his twin, you know.
Yeah.
Which one it is.
I do have a twin.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, guys. We are late into Saturday night, toward the end of the festival, and so we're kind of toward the end. We thought we'd take a minute to talk about our films, and we'll kind of start with Friday's night with our exhibition films. We had the world premiere of our latest film, Birthday Boy. I was pretty pleased with it. What did you guys think?
I like it. It's something you're not seeing a lot of right now on the festival circuit. I'm so worried in the next year we're just going to get inundated with virus-related stuff, and it's something it's contrary. You don't hardly see black and whites. The last two black and whites I've seen, we've done, which is kind of funny. I don't know. I seem like I'm talking the most, and I had this is one of the few that I have very little to do with.
As someone who just saw Birthday Boy,
that gives you a perspective.
And
true.
I think it's very refreshing. I have to agree with you, Sammie. I think that it just brings. There's just this. The lead actor is excellent, and there's just this portion of it that is not only is it refreshing, but it reminds you of Mad Men in a way, that type of period piece as far as, and you've got a little bit of a chauvinistic male lead, and then all of a sudden he gets a taste of his own medicine. And that's the way I think
that Jacob is so much younger than us that when he thinks of that, he thinks of Mad Men, where me and you, it's Honeymooners. Or Leave It to Beaver and
the black and white shows.
It's funny.
Yeah, but
Daddy Knows Best, and
I Love Lucy,
and the kids in it too, because the kids. I guess my question to you, Dan, with that Birthday Boy is: did the kids know what were coming? Did they know what was coming, or were they?
I mean, they read the script.
Yeah, they had the
No,
the actors are the characters.
Well, in the movie, are the kids supposed to know what's coming?
Were they in on it?
Yeah, were they in on the death of their father?
Whole family's in on it.
Okay. And I think that's left open for interpretation at first, at least to me it was, because I was like, well, maybe they are, maybe they're not.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be good in the festival
gives
circuit.
it away, though. They start giggling.
They do at the end.
And she has some line about it'll be better in a little bit or something like that. I don't remember exactly what it was.
Well, with the whole fantasy flashback sequences, you kind of imagine there's 3 of them, one for each kid to have plotted out, sort of deal. And when in an alternate version of it, we kind of were going to pan to the kid who set it up, just kind of maniacally smiling in the corner, but we decided that was a little bit too much. So I'm glad you guys liked it.
I like it.
Yeah.
I think it'll do well in the festival circuit, like I told you earlier tonight. I really did.
Well, let's hope so. We will see. All right, next up we had Ghost Note from Michael Whaley, a very cool little film that played excellent on the big screen.
Yeah, it did.
It's we talked about it last night. After it played, I turned around and looked at you and I went, well, that played very well on the big screen.
Absolutely.
There, on a small screen it had some digital issues, but on the big screen it looked great. So I was pleased with it.
It's one of it's short and sweet.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. Next we had Killing Time by the HMF guys, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Josh May.
Written by Scott Lake, who's big buddies with George C. Romero.
Didn't he write that?
Yeah, Scott wrote it. Oh, George had some. George said
the credits said they co-wrote it.
Yeah, I think George had put some input on it and stuff. But yeah, Josh Mabe, Jay Tucker stars in it. Who's been in a couple of our films too. So it's good seeing those guys progress too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So very local.
Yeah.
Very local.
Next, we have Camp of the Dead, which is actually, I believe, written and directed by Gwen Chapman, who is one of the stars of Birthday Boy. Mm-hmm. And it also stars this guy right here.
Wow. Yeah, this guy. This guy playing a creepy park ranger is what my daughter said.
Well, and Gwen
Not
was
just on
in
the
several
Saturdays.
movies.
Yeah.
She was
Yeah,
in
she
Killing
was.
Time. She was in Sunrise.
Well-
she was in a few things.
She, as a matter of fact, she won an award tonight for Sunrise at another film festival.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, did she really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
I have to say though, with Camp of the Dead, like she's what 13.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's quite an accomplishment for a 13-year-old, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
I really
Absolutely.
thought that was a great film, and overall, and it played out well, pacing, structurally wise. So,
I'll be honest with you, man. It's an accomplishment for anybody to finish a film. To be 13, get people to listen to you and do it. You know, that's tough.
You know, I just acted in that. I didn't have anything else to do with it. Josh co-produced it. Josh and Josh Maben and Melissa, her Gwen's mom.
Yeah.
But it kind of cherry picked from all of the groups that we're associated with. Austin Betkefer, I can't ever do Austin's last name. Sorry, Austin. Was the DP. Jermaine's in it. Jay's in it. I'm in it. Lily's in it. Jeff May's in it.
Tom Gore was there in spirit.
Sarah Everhart, who's now at Spooky Woods with me doing makeup and acting down there, is in it. And then they had kids from New York that flew down for it.
Oh,
Yeah. There was people from all over.
Elijah Wood's in it.
Yeah.
yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Okay.
After Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, his career has really slowed down a bit.
Well, and one of the kids from Birthday Boys in it too.
Oh yeah.
one,
James Tinklepaw.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very talented young man. Okay, so Ghost, Note, Killing Time, and Camp of the Dead are all three of our honorable mentions, and I'm glad we were able to find a slot for them. I know our audience appreciated it. So then we started with Block 1, which began with The Wraith, which is a creepy little film with some pretty great cinematography, I thought. What would you guys think?
Yeah. It's good. It's simple, kind of straightforward.
Yeah.
Monster flick, kind of.
Yeah.
I like the skull head, like the creature, and the cinematography. I definitely like the cinematography of it.
Then we had Candlesmoke, our first, well, I guess not our first, but our North Carolina film. And those guys were here to represent that. Jared Campbell and a couple of his colleagues were on hand for that. That is a Western horror film, which to me, I kind of describe it as like Evil Dead meets a Western.
I turned around after it was done. I looked at Dan and I said, "I want to do a Western." He says, "I do too." I do too.
It's gonna happen. Yeah.
A Western vampire movie.
Hank versus the werewolf.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. We
If you need a vampire, please. I love being there.
You're the go-to.
Yeah. It can be like Billy the Kid versus the
First Dracula.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same way you can be like Make My Day, a Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
I'm about that old now.
I didn't insinuate that. That's where I was going.
We talked about. We actually joked about Western stuff years ago, and I've already got horses lined up. So
I know a few people. with
Oh, you're
horses
raising the
as well.
stakes.
yeah.
Yeah. And maybe we'll get around to doing that someday soon, hopefully. Next we had a little film called Wake, which takes place at a wake, and it's
Funeral wake.
yeah.
Yes.
I don't want to spoil it. There's some twists and turns in there, and
I was a big fan of that one. I like
Morgan
that one.
really liked it.
yeah.
I did too. I was a big fan of it. That twist at the end. Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't expect it coming. It's one of those that hits you hard when it hits.
Oh yeah. Primarily stars two female actresses who are both nominated for Best Actress at our award ceremony. Then we had The Backwards Game, which was a neat little concept that had a pretty fun execution, I thought. Canadian film, and it's one of our micro shorts, nominated for Best Micro Short, coming in at 5 minutes.
It's very edgy, and I think it's meant to kind of make you uneasy, is maybe a better word even, than anything else.
It's one of those,
Uneasy is a good word.
Yeah. And an original idea.
yeah. Well, another one of those simple concepts is kind of like, how come no one's thought of this before? And it actually works. Then we had a little 2-minute animated film called Port, which I was talking to Annie about a little bit yesterday, and they really liked that one. Her group liked that one a lot.
It's creepy.
Yeah, it is pretty creepy.
Beautiful visuals.
Yeah, absolutely. Then we had...
And I can only imagine how hard it is doing an animated film.
Yeah.
I'd love
that's
to
a good one.
Yeah.
It's unreal.
It's hard enough editing video. I couldn't imagine trying to do all that, but maybe someday. Then we had Koreatown Ghost Story, which seemed to be an audience favorite.
Jesus, I wish I had that kind of money to make a short.
Yeah, I know, right?
Of course, if we had Margaret Cho behind it, I guess we would.
Yeah, probably. It was beautifully shot film, some great special effects, some great acting.
Super creepy.
Very creepy, yeah.
Also on top of that, the humor in it at the beginning was really good.
Yeah.
I think it was a good mix of horror comedy at the beginning, and then it turns out creepy with some...
Well, that finger gag, whew.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
I think that one's going to do pretty well on the festival circuit.
Yeah.
The contortion of the
Well, we
body,
saw
not thinking
it,
too much away, was,
Zach and I were in San Francisco.
Yeah.
It kind of headlined their horror block at San Francisco Film Festival. Yeah.
Oh,
But
nice.
Margaret's from that area.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, makes
So,
sense then,
yeah.
yeah.
I think we kind of hoped she'd show up. She didn't.
That's too bad, because that would have been nice, like, to let her know, hey, we're ready to...
Well, I'm sure they
Yeah.
did.
I'm sure they did, yeah.
Yeah.
I try everything in the world to get her there, too.
Next, we had a film called At Night, and I believe that filmmaker was here too. I didn't get a chance to meet him, but At Night's a guy tucking in his daughter at nighttime, and shit happens from there. I don't really want to spoil it. It's kind of hard to talk about without spoiling
There's
it.
a whistle.
You're going to hear me. You're going to hear me say a lot tonight. We'd already watched all these films, so I like sitting or. Sometimes you and I sit together. Sometimes me and Jeff sit together. Sometimes
We do?
You don't know it, but he's there.
You don't know, but he's there.
like 1 year. Most times Stephanie and I sit together because we just kind of talk about the films as we're going through. But this year I got to sit with Morgan last night, and then between Morgan and Lily tonight.
Yeah.
So I got different perspectives because Morgan doesn't particularly like horror movies at all.
Yeah.
Lily has grown to love horror movies. But offers that 13-year-old perspective. But one of the ones riding home last night that Morgan talked about was At Night that she really liked.
It was filmed in Georgia as well. So
So she really enjoyed that one.
cool. And not to give too much away on it, but the one thing that sticks out to me, of course, is the reveal of the effects for that one.
Yeah.
And I'll leave it at that.
You see a lot of those films when you do film festivals, and we've had tons of them over the years. Where it's short, simple, sweet, big monster reveal at the end. Going back to
I think Hada was like that. Going back that far.
Hada was like that. Don't Let the Light In from Jason Buchanan was like that. I mean, it's they've all got these little these monsters and stuff. So.
Next, we had an Australian film called Drip that seemed to do pretty well with the audience. I had a lot of people coming up and talk to me about Drip afterwards.
And that was the other one. Morgan was last night.
Yeah.
When we left last night, she said, "What did you like?" She said, "I liked At Night and I liked Drip." And she could name them both by their name.
Hey, Zach, come join us. Zach Fox, ladies and gentlemen, friend of the show.
Hi.
Friend of the show.
Who has worked his butt off today
I have a
this
butt.
weekend.
You always tell me I don't have one.
You don't.
This is why you don't have a butt, because you work it off all the
That's
time.
true. I appreciate that. My big toe hurts. Can you fix that? Family massage it.
What?
He's doing it right now.
He's saying you do.
I know how much you love feet.
You
Like
can't-
the Quentin Tarantino.
Oh my God, dude.
Yes.
The last film we just watched with Gwen and the dad's got her foot, and I turned around and looked at Morgan and I said, "You'll just die." I'm not fixing your foot. I hate feet.
What movie was that?
Sunrise.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, go back to these.
Okay.
Off track.
The last film we had in Blog 1 was The Woodsman by North Carolina filmmaker from Asheville, Missy Bell, who is just around the corner here somewhere. I saw her just a minute ago. Which is another creepy film.
Yes, very well received.
I think a few people in the audience jumped last night at that one.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
That's
there were
always
some
great.
oohs and ahs as well.
Awesome. Look forward to talking to Missy a little bit here in a minute. Then we had our dinner break and came back after that with Block 2, which was our first feature film from Argentina, not anywhere else.
Not French, not
Spain.
German, not Spanish, it was Argentinian.
It was it's from Argentina, and it was.
We all thought it was from some
we
different
just-
place, and we were all wrong.
I got up there and I was like, I think it's a French film, guys. And I was just, sorry.
And I told Morgan it was Norwegian. We sit down and they start Spanish, and she just turned to look at me. I said, "Sorry, I didn't remember." And I watched it. I just didn't remember.
That's definitely for me one of my favorites this year was
yeah.
for Dalek Blood.
It was so
the
creepy.
Great take on vampirism. So
Yeah.
and the lead actress looks a lot like Christina Ricci,
Yeah, I can see
in my
that.
opinion. In my opinion.
Well, that's always a plus for you.
Well, that explains everything.
There it is.
That explains everything. Yeah,
You know,
I
it's,
guess a little.
it's hard to do something new and interesting with vampires. Now, it's such a done thing.
Oh
that,
my God!
You know,
all the big ones.
I will say I'm watching Midnight Mass on Netflix right now, and that I think that's doing something really interesting with vampires. I don't want to spoil anything for you.
I like the look of those vampires. It was
Call them Brunel.
original Salem's Lot kind of looking with that
the
with all the
ones
teeth
that
in
are
their
now
mouth.
blood, right?
yeah.
It reminded me of that, and some of the strain a little bit. I would say,
I do enjoy the having the extra rules for these that they drink the blood of family members and or someone you love, which is a different little take on it.
So they're kind of like a Donner Party thing.
Yeah, I wonder if that's an Argentina thing. I don't know.
Could be some kind of folklore.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I think it's from Eastern Europe. From what I Googled, maybe I'm wrong, but I thought I saw something about it being from Eastern Europe as well. But
Get on that, Sammie. Okay, now we're let's transition to day 2.
Jeff, don't talk too much.
I try. I have to restrain myself. You know how
That
it
I
is.
believe.
So we had a second screening of Birthday Boy, and followed by a screening of Spirit of the Cinema.
Yay.
No, it is not horror, but it was made in
It
this
says
very
Spirit.
building. It was made in this very building. It is one of our films, and we have the writer-director right here. Say hi, Zach.
Now, wait a minute. It's got a ghost element to it, and you guys argued from the very beginning that any kind of movie that dealt with death is horror.
Oh, I didn't say that. I'd say any horror film automatically deals with death or the imminent threat of death. I think
Yeah,
you have.
We did have that.
But I
like
don't think
years.
I don't think dealing with death necessarily makes it a horror by any means, because there are plenty of death films that are
I
dropped.
think I made the correct analogy today. It's Ghost.
Okay.
It is a ghost.
No, Ghost.
He can
Patrick
do it.
Swayze.
Correct.
Yeah, it's a ghost story that's a drama. It's not
Yeah.
horror.
Can we shoot a new scene with Mike and Sammie at the pottery wheel? Shirts off.
Hi, thanks for having me on this podcast since Jeff talked over me.
Even though he doesn't talk at all.
Also, spoiler alert on the plot.
I'll shut up.
No, you're good.
You say that like somebody besides the people in the circle listen to this podcast.
I don't even listen to this fucking podcast, to be honest. So. Anyway.
There's Dave.
Someone brought a whole
Hey, Dave.
turkey leg about this long.
Hi, everybody. Now this is my employee, Logan, who just
Logan
is
just got
cleaning
up
the
there.
theater after the festival, and someone brought what?
A turkey leg about that long.
Hot.
All right, just so everybody knows, that was about 10 inches. It was Sammie size. Eaten down to the bone. So
As we got back
girthy?
from San Francisco together.
it was very skinny. He said, not girthy.
It doesn't matter if it's 10 inches.
Logan, welcome to the show.
Hey, Logan.
Thanks, Logan. Bye, Logan.
Thanks, Logan.
Been to the fair
I
and
just like
then
to
came to
call
the
out-
movies.
Oh, I will say, my wife watched it, and her takeaway to me was, she put her head down. She said, "So, Sammie actually did a really good job." She said, as much as it pains me to say it, I really thought
If
he
you
did
could
a great
see Sammie's
job.
face right now, if the audience could see Sammie's face right now,
It's the equivalent of looking into the Ark of the Covenant.
She had something good to say about me?
Yeah.
Wow.
I do have to
She was
give you
impressed.
kudos to Sammie. Of
Yeah.
course, I've always given you kudos, but
Suck up.
this was a transition for you into something much more deep of a dramatic role, and also kudos to Zach. This was like a love letter to 35mm cinema,
Oh, yeah.
and I think that it really sums up that feeling of like if you take a movie like Gone with the Wind or anything, Pulp Fiction, anything that was on 35mm, and you compare it to digital now. A lot of times you can tell a difference if you weren't raised in the digital only era.
Thank you.
I had to lobby for that role. It's the first and only one I've ever lobbied for. I guess I lobbied for Midnight Shift role too, but
Yeah, you did.
I don't remember that.
yeah, I had
It's
to
just
lobby.
about to get real.
I had to lobby for that, and you were like, "I don't think you can be serious enough." So then I went and did Haunting of 4 Points, where I had to be serious, and then you were like, "Well, I can't find anybody else." So yeah, and then you give me the one comedy line in the whole damn movie.
That's funny. That's the same
which-
reason I casted you. I couldn't find anyone else.
Which wasn't intended to be a comedy line, but it works pretty well in the
So
movie.
then I had to lobby for this one, and I mean, I think all three of us. I wanted to push myself. You didn't. You questioned whether I could do it. You didn't. You didn't say I don't think you can do it. You just questioned it. Zach questioned it. I think everybody questioned it. So I wanted to prove to myself that I could do it.
Well, I questioned it until one day that I saw you in a very foul mood.
Okay.
You were in a very foul mood one day. And the thing was, I didn't see any Sammie. Like, I saw someone else. I'm like, this isn't...
store's all out of sun drop.
Exactly. He was you were very angry all day. It wasn't even just for like 10 minutes. It was
Yeah.
like the whole day I was with you. And, and that was like, all right, he can be someone else. So anyway, good thing you were angry that day.
Well, I mean, that's I'm an actor. That's you're supposed to be able
So
to
you were
do
acting
different
angry?
stuff. No.
I'm pretty sure I saw you angry earlier today.
You want to see him angry? Go on, get angry.
Yeah.
I think we can help with that.
Hey, I'm currently working on a Windows computer, which is making me infuriatedly angry.
Yeah. I mean, I get angry every once in a while, but I'm not angry in that movie. It's just toned down.
No, you're just toned down.
It's an underplayed
You're tone deaf. I mean, down.
Sammie, which is what it called for.
Or as Dan told me to call you, Samuel.
It also makes it very easy when you're working with somebody as talented as Mike Burke.
Sure, yeah. It's good to play off of, yeah.
It gave him, it gave me a target, and Ariana too.
Yeah.
So I am super proud of that film.
As am I.
Me too.
And me. And that's to have Lauren say something positive about it. That was I was
something right.
I was happy just making Alice cry. But
Wait,
Makes my daughter
review
cry.
on it.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Should I get the poster and redo it and put like
Lauren.
Sammie was actually pretty good at dancing?
Lauren approved. Lauren approved.
As much as it pains me to say, it was actually pretty damn good.
And when we came for the premiere, my wife turns and looks at me and goes, "Huh, actor."
You can do it.
I was like,
Move over, Tom Gore.
Where was Tom Gordon
"He
this
said he
year?
was coming."
Hey, Tom Gore actor.
Speaking of Tom Gore,
Oh, this is my transition.
Was it?
Is this our in memorial?
You're welcome.
Yeah, was our and of course he's here in spirit. That's the police chasing him.
There it is.
He took his clothes off again.
They come to get Charlie.
And Bronco.
Raising the Stakes, his 3-minute horror comedy starring Bill Mulligan and Justin Cole.
Also Spirit of the Sun.
Yeah, which I couldn't help but laugh when I see Tom's logo show up with the TGIF, and I was like, only Tom would like take God out of it and put his own name.
So does that
I didn't even look at it like that, but okay.
Thank Gore.
Wait, it's not. Thank God
It's
it's Friday. Was it Sandor now?
Well, now
Tom Gore International
it's Tom
Films?
Gore's like international film. So,
You didn't know that?
Good.
I
That's why
didn't.
it's
I actually.
TGIF.
So when the
Holy
movie
Gore.
started, I thought it was "Thank God It's Friday." Then all of a sudden, I made the connection. Tom Gore.
Oh yeah.
Then I was like, Tom Gore International Films. Wow.
You have to love Tom.
Yeah.
There for about 4 or 5 festivals, he walked around with one of those mini marquees that says Tom Gore actor on it,
yeah.
with battery powered, so he could just set it up in front of him, and it said Tom Gore actor.
Does he bring that? Never mind.
It's funny. We give
Does he
Tom
take
a
it
lot
to
of-
bed with him? That's what I was gonna
Probably.
ask.
He actually does. So when we were
How'd you
midnight
know?
shift, we were staying in a. Well, I was
In a
getting to
cabin?
that.
Oh
We were
my
staying in
God!
a
You want
cabin.
to tell that story?
And I remember it came up. I was like, so it's Tom Gore, but then why do we have to say Tom Gore actor? So he got into the story about why he's Tom Gore actor and why you've got to say it like that.
He calls and I say, "Hello, Tom Gore actor." Should have heard him the day Zach and I were in Vegas, and he called Zach's phone and I answered. It blew his mind.
I was waiting when we were in San Francisco antiquing for him to call.
Called my phone and
I would have
answered.
Zach, you never take me antiquing.
You are an antique, Tom. But we love you.
Yeah, I was just about to say we give him a lot of shit, but we actually
We
like
love
him.
Tom.
Still American-based Tom Gore too.
Yeah, for now. Yeah.
No, forget it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's not going to England.
Okay. Next, we had a re-release, recut. I had put on their director's cut, but you can call it whatever you want, of Chatterbox, film that we premiered last year's film festival. We recut it, retooled it, trimmed the fat a little bit, replaced the score, and I think audiences really liked it. Again, I think I like it better.
It got some laughs.
I think it really was entertaining, more entertaining this time around. He cut a little off, so the pacing was better.
Yeah.
And I think that, yeah, Sammie, that one, you got a lot of laughs there. Cause between you and Stephanie's reactions there, you really played well off each other. Like chemistry.
I agree.
That it's kind of opposite end of the spectrum for me and that block from stoic, quiet
That's true, yeah.
actor Sammie to turn up to 15 Sammie.
0 to 100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout
Stephanie's great.
out. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
She is.
Her reactions in it are natural. Yeah.
Yeah, she's probably underappreciated in that movie, but yeah, she does a lot by doing little.
Just facial expressions.
Yeah.
She has one line in the whole movie, and other than that, it's kind of like me with a Grim Dinner, where it was just all my facial expressions and Taylor's one line.
Yeah. Shout out to our good pal and judge, director of Chatterbox, Chad Hunt, who's under the weather and couldn't be with us tonight. We hope you get to feeling better,
Feel
buddy.
better soon, buddy.
We love you, buddy.
Missed it. Chad, Zach was just crying.
Yeah.
I cried in
gonna be
spirit,
okay.
and he cried because Chad wasn't here.
Yeah.
I needed my Hulk.
Okay.
That got awkward.
Moving on. Then we went to Block 3, which started off with Dice. Don't do it, Zach. Don't do it.
I ran one over once.
Oh, jeez. Okay, we're having computer issues here.
This thing is nuked.
So we started with Dice, which is a really neat little concept of a film where you roll the dice and
Shit happens.
I was like Dungeons and
things
Dragons.
happen. Well, yeah, but
Took him a little while to
the-
figure out
the-
shit was happening though.
The numbers correspond to bad things. Well, it corresponds to money, but money corresponds to bad things, to having to other people.
It is a morality tale about
Until
the
it moves on to
evils-
someone else, and then it happens to you.
about
Yeah.
the evils of cash.
That's right. Yeah.
Sold my soul to the devil a long time ago.
Next we had Hide or Seek, which is another cool movie about a group of friends who go to play a childhood game in their one of them's home, and things go pretty awry from there. Really well made film. Then I think it's probably your favorite of the festival that I've heard you champion a good bit, Sammie, the Mystery Murder.
I always pick a film every year that I champion, and most times stay in touch with those filmmakers and follow their stuff and make sure I always promote them and this is my
Yeah, I pushed that one. I thought that was
yeah,
really good.
It was
A really well done horror comedy.
creative, funny. We horror comedies are close to our heart. And it was
Lots of laughs without losing the creepiness and gore and suspense.
I think
took
with that,
8 mushrooms.
I think that one for me, the comedy was really the best part. That
Oh, yeah.
for me, that kept that one entertaining.
It was primarily a comedy, but it didn't miss out on the other
Plenty of
elements.
gore.
Okay,
too,
I have a
yeah.
question. And I don't know if I was seeing this wrong or what, but when they were showing all the dead bodies towards the end, they flashed to his dad.
Yeah.
yeah.
Was he black?
Like ass turned.
No, I think
noticed.
that was the other friend who caught the knife.
the one that he caught it and it cut him in the.
No, that was the kid on the stairs.
Yeah.
But he had a fedora on and or was that just a random person that they didn't kill? I could have sworn it was. I'll go back and watch it and see. But I didn't catch that the first go around. But on the big screen, I was like, was that the dad? And he looked black, which would have been just
maybe it
funny.
was.
I don't know.
I didn't notice that.
I mean, next we had And Then the Darkness with some ellipses at the beginning.
That's a North Carolina film.
A North Carolina film. Do we know any of the people behind that or in it?
Do not.
I don't think so.
Which is unusual.
There it is.
Because it's only a
And welcome.
small circle.
I mean, and it wasn't that far away in Concord.
Yeah.
Good little film.
Yeah. Then we had another North Carolina film by Justin Oakley, Mama's Boy. Actually, well, that's fine. We can go ahead and say it. Mama's Boy. Justin's one of those filmmakers that started making films several years ago, and the first film he made, you could tell he has an eye, but for whatever reason, it just didn't quite cut it, and he didn't make it in. Next year, the film was noticeably better, and the year after that one was noticeably better. This one is noticeably better than last year, so it's really neat to see a filmmaker's progression from...
I remember saying something about that to you a couple years ago, was keep an eye on this guy because his stuff is getting progressively better.
Yeah, which is what we all kind of hope is the case.
I hope that's
from
where
year
we're
to year.
headed.
Yeah, I hope my films are are better each time, and I think everyone does. But his most definitely.
See, y'all terrify me because I'm about to make my first film. So now I expect it to be crap.
Jeff's going to start off at the top, and it's only downhill from there.
But I mean, you're kind of kicking off.
Be the Benjamin Button of filmmaking.
You're kind of kicking off of us who all have experience. So.
True.
And something to say about Mama's Boy was like, for me, was the cinematography and the poster art. I think that it had really good cinematography. That's the one thing that caught my eye from the beginning, the first time I viewed it. And then the poster art for it I really loved as well.
As an editor, I really appreciated the editing of that film.
Oh, yeah.
I was looking at it going, that's pretty damn good. That's some good tricks he's doing there. So, I like that one. Then we had On the Road Again. Again, from filmmaker C. Michael Whaley from Ghost Note. And
Michelle.
This is, our friends from Charleston.
Yep.
With a very short, brief, sweet, to the point little horror film.
Well done, too.
Had a couple of road movies this year, too.
Yeah. We need to make a road movie. I'm down.
Do it on the way to Wilmington, October 26th.
That's right.
Me and Jeff.
Yeah.
Guy in a chainsaw.
Kind of chainsaw.
One leg. One leg in a wheelchair with a guy 6'8" and carrying a chainsaw.
Yeah, I heard you talking on that podcast recently about it.
What if you hit a vampire?
No one wants to make it, and
you keep telling me to write it.
I distinctly remember coming up with a story for it that you didn't like. You didn't want to go with. I think it was pretty sick and sexually twisted.
Oh, that's the reason I like it.
Yeah.
You said sexual twist, and I thought of Jake.
One of them ends.
Oh, really?
Well, you got to play
I
one
don't
of the
know whether
guys.
it's
Twisted
honored
Jake,
or scared
twisted.
by that.
You got to
Twisted
play the
sexual.
wheelchair guy.
I thought I could be a vampire.
I mean, he could be a vampire. It just has got nothing to do with it.
Different film, Jacob.
Yeah, it's completely different.
We should be the guys who make a movie featuring a vampire. It just has nothing to do with him being a vampire. It just happens to be a vampire.
That would be kind of fun.
It'd be like a road movie. You know, Jeff and Sammie, they're on the road. They hit a guy, and they don't know that it's a vampire. And, you know.
Don't fucking spoil it. Write it. Just write it, Jacob.
You're a vampire?
Huh? I said I could be.
Yeah, don't spoil your golden nuggets here on the show. Write it and we'll make it.
Okay.
All right, next film we did was our Block 4, our second feature, The Turn of the Screw, a New Zealand adaptation of the classic Henry James novel of the same name.
I can't wait to talk to Mike Burke about that movie. I think he probably loved it.
Probably would appreciate it more than most with his theater.
I mean, I appreciate it just from working on some stages.
Yeah.
You know, I worked on that native film at the Carolina Theater.
Yeah.
And spent time by myself on a stage, kind of with all the lights down and that kind of stuff. And it's different.
Did that theater remind you some of the Carolina?
It did very much.
When we filmed the 2016 commercial, that came to mind when we were on that main stage.
Yeah.
Like just when I first especially that opening wide shot when you're actually establishing a shot in Turn of the Screw, that's what it looked like.
Yeah.
I thought you just lean down and say something profound.
No.
It's
a good time.
I've started describing that as a ghost story wrapped in a play, wrapped in a movie. Because that's kind of what it is. And it's a good twist. And I enjoyed the slow burn, the creep factor.
Yeah.
Very well acted too.
Oh yeah, the lead actress in it.
Yes, very much so.
It's the turn of the Screw is one of those stories that, again, we were talking a little bit about this earlier. It's in the public domain, so it gets done a lot. I mean, last year it was done in theaters in The Turning, and then Netflix did it for Haunting of Bly Manor. So, it gets done a lot, and it's done really well. And this is a new new take on it. I mean, that's it's really cool to see. If you're going to do something like this, do something different with it.
We
They
were sitting
did.
there watching it, and suddenly a phone is passed down to me. And I look at it, and it's Tanya's phone, and it says Haunting of Bly Manor, the IMDb page for it. And I just turned and looked at it and went, yep.
And I have to say, for this one, like, I just love the beautiful, rich colors in the production design as well as the acting. I mean, for me, that production design was just so gorgeous because, it's the theater sets once again. And you got to appreciate the work that goes into that.
I would love to act in an immersive environment like that.
It's called Spookywood.
Well, that's true. See, you're not wrong there. I guess I do, don't I?
Yeah.
Never mind. Strike that. That's where I'm supposed to be tonight. Elizabeth brought my
Well,
costume
we called dibs on you. All right. Then we had Block 5 of our short films, which started off with a Spanish film from Tony Morales named Abracitos.
The dude has a look.
Yep.
Yeah, he's got a very...
I don't know why someone has not given him a bunch of money to make something big.
well, they will. They will.
yeah.
It's a matter of time.
He understands
very talented.
creep.
Yes.
He understands creepy.
Again, another slow burn
Gets it.
guy, too, yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's a slow burn guy, but he packs a lot of punch in those little shorts. He sent us every year, and it's
His films have won.
A lot of
They've been in our
kids.
festival, like, what, this is the third or fourth film?
This is the
works with kids a lot.
third.
So we had, what, Black-Eyed
Hada.
Children, Hada.
Hotter than Black-Eyed Children. Now we've got Abracitos.
Okay.
So yeah.
What is that? Do we know what Apricito stands for?
Yeah, it's hugs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the hug, the transition.
Does
yeah,
anybody speak Spanish?
just a tad. But yeah.
I mean, I do, but I didn't know what Apricitos was.
And I would say with this one, to me, all his films kind of have that. To me, they remind me a little bit of the work of like in the Insidious universe, and they have those kind of cinematography and like those trick cinematography that we really like, and the camera angles and the musical scores. So I think that one played out well for most people.
Just knows how to do creepy.
He does.
Yeah.
He can execute creepy.
I walked in at the end of that, and the spot where the kid stands up on the bed, I heard people go,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I heard gasp.
That's always good to hear
yeah.
in the movie theater. All right, next we had For Sale, which is another foreign film. A film from the UK, but shot in Italy, and it's really well made and seems to be another good crowd pleaser.
Very
There's a
gorgeous.
couple twists in that one.
Yeah,
That's a really good one. It reminded me of almost like a Natural Born Killers meets Clive Barker, is what I got from it. Like a Hellraiser Frank.
Hell did you get that at?
Well, I
see
guess
that.
you got the killer couple that comes
Okay.
in, and then they're like caressing the guy, and then I don't want to give too much away, and then you've got this creature in the basement that is reminiscent of a Clive Barker type character, and we never get the whole backstory behind this character, and
You don't really see the full character.
Yeah, and that just adds to it. You see all this carnage.
To
There,
me,
in the basement.
To me, the measure of a good short is wanting to see more.
Yeah.
And that's one where I want to see more.
Oh yeah,
I'd love to see a feature.
and what makes that film even better between that, it's got great acting, cinematography.
And was there anyone else in that town, or had it eaten them all?
Oh yeah, because we don't see anybody.
That's a really
they
good
made
point.
there's a line in it that says, "We haven't seen anyone else since we've been here."
And it's deserted because then his phone calls up again at the end, and someone else is coming for the exact same reason.
So it's
being
gone
invaded
through
in
the
there.
town, and now he has to go outside.
That's
Please make a follow up to this, filmmakers.
Well, that could be a prequel or follow up or anything.
Yeah, give us more.
Resale. All right.
Resale.
Guess it's better than yard sale.
Now, I remember when I was first talking about that in the group chat in our film festival.
Garage sale.
And what you said for sale? What was for sale? Like your response, just response.
Garage sale.
What are we selling, Jake?
Yeah, what are we selling?
You don't want to know it.
Next,
Probably don't.
next we had Soulmates, which is a pretty freaky little film.
Trent has an eye.
Yeah,
Trent does some freaky stuff.
yeah.
Sorry, Trent. Trent. Oh,
I'm trying to think of a way to describe the film to our listeners.
One he did that showed at Carolinas. I can't remember what it was, but he has a very distinct, stylistic.
That was the film that I sent you that text message, Sammie. During.
Oh. I couldn't figure out what I didn't read it till later. I couldn't figure out what the hell
It was for Soulmates.
Yeah, got it. That's funny.
Yeah, just for our listeners, I sent Sammie a message saying, "This reminds me of the time I lost my virginity." All right.
That's great.
Lots of skulls and blood.
Chains.
And, chains and. He's watching Hellraiser.
Lots of smoke.
By himself.
Okay, so I'm
It's just
sorry.
a Thursday night.
I got distracted.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
All right.
Thinking about Tan's virginity.
No, like I thought we were talking Sammie. Like I thought Sammie was when you were talking like skulls and blood, etc. I thought we were talking and chains. I thought
You've met
Sammie
my
was
wife. She
like
wouldn't be into all that stuff.
Hey, I was talking about you losing your virginity. Nothing else.
Well, that might be a little different.
All right.
Anyway,
our
moving right along.
our next film is a comedy short called Clamps, which
That's funny.
from listening to our audience, they seem to really enjoy that one.
Yeah, it got some.
I want to see a feature of that.
God, I don't know. I heard somebody else say I could watch. Oh, Tanya. Tanya said I could watch an hour of that. I said, ooh, I don't know if I could watch an hour of it. It's funny, but I don't know if I can watch an hour of it.
Yeah, it was pretty
There's
fun.
a lot of different kinds of clamps.
True.
That's true. You could have a whole franchise. Clamps films.
Sea clamps.
But that's kind of what made it funny, though, was those little
Yeah,
cheap ones
that looks like-
that are terrible. They won't hold nothing. So I guess the big bad could have been one of those super clamps,
Vice.
locking vice grips.
Then we had The Killer of Grassy Ridge, which was
Johnny K.
Shenandoah Valley.
beautifully shot film with that
Yeah.
interesting little twist.
I would say that one for me, on a few notes, really hit hard. I would say like the cinematography, and it was very atmospheric. The musical score,
Yeah.
and also that actor. Even though he doesn't have to say anything,
He doesn't have a line at all.
he sells it. Just
Sure.
the little part he's in, and he really does. So I was a fan of that one.
Johnny Carzari messaged me this morning. Said, sorry, we can't make it. Hope you have a blast.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they're Northern Virginia.
Then we had
And that's God's country where they're filming at, so, every
I'd
film,
love to go up to
every film
Shenandoah.
through there is gorgeous. Anyway, go ahead.
Sleep Now. I can't remember where that one's.
Norway?
We're gonna go with Norway.
I think it
Finnish,
was.
Norwegian,
Something like that.
Norwegian. I think it
We've
is.
been wrong on countries before, so
Well, that you could tell by the language. It was somewhere in that region.
Yeah.
creepy little short.
Story of a little bastard who just won't go to sleep.
You got one of those at home, don't you?
I got several of them at home.
That almost sounds like something for Birthday Boy, though.
But that's that's a sad little film too.
That is a sad film. It's
I mean, the
simple.
twist is
When
the story behind
twist
it.
is heart wrenching.
Yeah.
If you have one.
Yeah.
And almost, if you've lost
Unlike your cold black one.
Well, I'm throwing it out there.
and almost
I could see how it could have grabbed people.
and almost if you lost a loved one, I think you resonate with that, especially someone who's really close to you. That could be something that happens, or you have a dream about at some point, like that. Maybe they were in your room and
Especially if you're the cause of it. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, especially if you're the cause of it, like the guilt portion. But even no, I think that one just cuts deep. It really does.
Yeah.
Next, we had a twist on Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde with a little film called Hyde, with some I think some pretty great acting, which really sells the horror of this film.
Yeah, I was a
Physical
big
and
fan of that film from the beginning.
Yeah.
And some good. I don't know if that was editing or special effects with the blurriness as she was moving.
Yeah.
It's
pretty
almost
neat.
kind of sci-fi.
Right.
I don't know. You're the technical guy, not me. So I don't know if that was editing or
It was
just.
it worked. Whatever they did, I liked it. It's like, then we wrapped up Block 5 and our short films altogether with the North Carolina made Sunrise, which also starred Gwen Chapman. We talked
Gwen's
about her.
coming out weekend.
Yep.
She's all over the place.
Coming out.
Tom Gore, the young female Tom Gore.
She directs too, just like Tom. Much better than Tom.
Yes.
I'll say. Oh, fuck you, Tom. Okay.
And
I did not
Sunrise is
say
like
that.
one of those where, like the cinematography stood out for me on that one.
Sure,
The most
yeah.
of any of
It was well made.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
It was pretty.
With a monster twist.
Yeah. Which, yeah, I like that. And then right now we are screening Red Snow, our final film of the night, which is an American-made film, a fun vampire, kind of a slasher film, I guess.
Christmas vampires.
Yeah, it's
Christmassy.
really good. It's a horror comedy, in my opinion, that
Yeah.
also intertwines Christmas, and it's almost like if the writer of Twilight actually had a vampire at her disposal. That's kind of what I took.
See, now, I mean, there's a couple of funny points in it,
Yeah.
but I don't know that it's. I didn't watch it as a comedy.
I didn't either.
Okay, but that's just I did.
Again, there was a couple of funny moments, but overall, I thought it was pretty good. And that's that. Maybe too many twists.
Well, I was just think maybe I would have appreciated it better if I looked at it from a comedy standpoint.
Oh.
I think I watched it in 2 sittings. So I watched part of it and then watched the other part the next night. And so anyway, I was very entertained by it, and it's also got is it Vernon Wells, isn't it?
Yeah.
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 I mean, he was Kill Giggles last year, and so it was kind of nice to have him back in the festival.
Back to back Vernon Wells
That's
movies.
right.
And yeah, I think overall though, I like that movie. The effects in it too, and it being a Christmas vampire movie.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Him dressing up in grandma's clothes is pretty funny.
Oh yeah. That's part of what the comedy comedic side.
He's in a sweater and a dress, and it's pretty funny.
Well, that's going to wrap it up for our discussion on our official selection and the film festival in general. I guess we could go over award nominees. Let's see. I don't have it off the top of my head. I have to look it up. But check out our website, WreakHavocHorrorFilmFest.com, and you can find pretty much everything you want to know about it. Everything from our judges to the films that were mentioned for our honorable mentions. We'll be wrapping up here pretty soon with our Q&A and our award ceremony. So, looking forward to that.
Yes.
Guys, thanks for joining us.
That's you two.
Oh,
You chuckle butts.
You guys, yeah. Little chuckle butt.
Yeah, chuckle butts.
that got a lot of laughs.
Yeah, it did.
That's a good line.
I really enjoyed the festival every year. I enjoy it. I enjoy how much we grow and the type of films and submissions we get each year. Like this year, I think the foreign films really hit heavy, and I just love seeing that. I love seeing more of the foreign films, and every year it seems to get better and better as far as the submissions.
Be curious to see what we get next year out of the pandemic.
Yeah,
I like the mix. I like having
Yeah.
some comedy, having some straight up gore, having some suspense,
Yeah.
having a little bit of mix of all the elements.
You know, we kind of figured going into this year we'd probably have fewer films than usual, and it's slightly fewer submissions, but it's pretty much on par.
From what I hear, though, the fall has been blowing up.
Well, everybody's ready.
Yeah, Zach says the River Run guys are like, we've gotten twice as many films as we normally do.
Cool.
At this time.
Whoa. Hey, filmmakers, we open up for submissions on January 1st, so hit us up and we'll get that.
And I know
early
a
bird.
lot of people are working on stuff.
Yeah, us included.
Yeah. Oh,
Too many things, yeah.
holy hell. Producer Sammie hat.
Hey, while we're at it, Jeff, you want to say something about Seer of Souls? Maybe talk about our campaign launching soon?
I mentioned that I'm about to start my first film.
Yeah.
It's a feature length that I wrote during the pandemic, and it's about owls and a dark legend, and mayhem ensues. And did the teaser trailer for it here that will release on social media tomorrow, and putting together a crowdfunding release for next weekend, and
Yeah.
can find all that at on Facebook at Seer of Souls, and on my website, Darker World.
Yeah, and you can find the crowdfunding campaign on Indiegogo. So, yeah, check it out, guys, and consider contributing and helping us get this film made. It'll be really cool.
Yes,
We've been working hard already.
I'm ready to go be in a tree. So
I told Jacob there may be some harnesses involved.
Yeah,
Hey, there we go. Hanging by us.
and it's not
Ankles for
not
a
part of your weird,
Okay.
not part of your weird sex stuff either, Jacob.
I've heard horror stories about how Tom, Bill Mulligan, Mike Williams, Jason, and those guys treat each other on set. So I think it's kind of time that we do that, and you're the first victim. So we're going to leave you hanging by your ankles for about 4 hours.
okay.
In a tree,
He's already
of
been
course.
told that he has to do a method acting approach to this thing.
Do you not know Jacob? Jacob is a method actor.
He's gonna have to live in a tree for a while.
Oh, okay.
I've also in the past, like, had it kind of bad where I had a fake tongue lodged in and had to, like, move my real tongue back, and then had fake blood poured down my throat as well at the same time. All the meanwhile, Brian Krause is using a pair of, like, pliers to pull a tongue out of my mouth during an exam. So
Jesus
that was pretty
Christ.
bad. So maybe
I got buried
hanging
alive
upside
for 3
down.
hours.
That's all.
Yeah.
Yikes! You're gonna have to eat some mice and stuff like that. But
So
it's
maybe
cool.
Not for the movie.
awesome.
We're just going to
Do I
make
need
Just to get into
I gotta
character.
eat mice. Okay.
Yeah.
Bubonic plague.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Jeff's got insurance.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. So
They're clean mice. They've had baths and
Yeah,
everything.
sure. It's the pester mice.
Had as much shampoo as that woman in Clamps. Shampoo all over.
No, and that campaign launches when?
Friday.
Friday?
15th.
October 15th.
October
Yeah.
15th.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
All right.
2 weeks.
Tune in soon. Sammie and I will be talking about some horror films for the month of October. We've got a whole slew slated for you, so check that out. And as always, check out this time of year new episodes of the Carolina Haints podcast, show that Jeff writes and I host and produce, and yeah.
Tell them about the book.
There's our book that Jeff and I wrote, Carolina Haints, Ghosts, Folklore, and Mysteries of the Old North State, which drops
26th.
October 26th.
The trailer was playing, and Lily turned to look at me and goes, I want a copy. I said, I think you know somebody.
Got $20?
Shit don't come cheap.
Yeah, so pick one up. To quote our pal Tally Johnson, wherever decent books are sold.
Yay, Tally.
All right. Thanks for listening, guys, and we hope you'll be listening next year for the 8th annual Wreak Havoc Horror Film Festival.
Go watch, I think it's October 15th. Go watch Halloween Kills and see if you can play Where's Sammie.
Yeah, I can't wait to do that. That's
I'm planning to play too.
yeah.
Look for Sammie.
All All right,
Where's
guys.
Sammie?
Until next time.
Oh, and Spooky Woods. I'll be at Spooky Woods the rest of the month.
Kersey Valley Spooky.
Kersey Valley Spooky Woods.
Where you supposed to be tonight?
Yeah. All right, guys. Keep wreaking havoc.